I've been watching Marvel movies since I was a kid. In that time, the MCU has changed a lot, from cinematic hype to pure sloppy confusion and everything in between. Throughout all this chaos, there are still a few movies that remind me why I fell in love with this universe. Now let's get into my top 5 MCU movies of all time. My top 2 might just surprise you. Now coming in at number 5.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1. This film was just pure magic. The soundtrack, the tone, the satire, everything just clicked. It felt completely fresh when it dropped, and honestly it changed what a Marvel movie could be. James Gunn introduced us to a complete group of nobodies and just made them iconic overnight. I think the group's chemistry is just unmatched.
I have no words for an honorless thief.
Pretty high and mighty coming from the lack-given genocidal maniac. Yeah, I know who you are.
It's chaotic, hilarious, and sometimes heartfelt all at once. You actually feel like they're a dysfunctional family, and that's what makes them special, and that's what makes this group work. Now, Ronan the Accuser, he had potential, cool design, strong presence, but they just made him a little too weak. Now, he didn't get the Kang treatment from Quantumania, but still, he was made out a little bit too weak in this movie. He's one of those villains that should have been terrifying, but just ended up being a bit of a speed bump. Still, this movie was a huge turning point for the MCU. It launched the Infinity Saga properly and showed that Marvel could take risks and win big. For me, this film is endlessly rewatchable. It's vibrant, unique, and 100% deserving of its spot on this list. Now moving on to a film that closed a decade of storytelling and probably gave us one of the coldest final lines in movie history.
Assemble.
Endgame felt like a goodbye, a massive emotional send-off to 10 years of storytelling. It wrapped up the Infinity Saga in a way that was both nostalgic and satisfying.
Iron Man.
That line will forever be cinema history. It's not just closure, it's catharsis. The time travel sequences were clever and surprisingly emotional. Tony meeting Howard, Cap seeing Peggy again. These scenes gave us real weight to the characters that we've been following for so many years. But I have to be honest, Endgame was not flawless. The final battle was great, but it just lacked substance. Thanos' army felt like fodder. There was a lot of great moments in the fight, but again, it just lacked substance. It leaned more towards fan service than tension and fixing certain issues. Like this moment.
Don't worry.
She's got help.
Cool, this scene was empowering, but also just felt forced down our throats and just unnatural. Still, Endgame gave us emotion, closure, and some of the best performances in the whole of the MCU. It's not perfect, but it's pretty powerful. A cinematic farewell that still hits years later. Next up, a movie that is 100% my most rewatched movie of all time.
And it'll be reborn in my image. I thought you'd be glad to see me.
With a $180 million budget and over $850 million at the box office, Ragnarok completely saved the Thor franchise. This movie is pure joy in chaos form. Every joke lands, every color pops, and Taika Waititi somehow made a movie that's both emotional and hilarious. We actually studied this movie at university. That's how good this movie is structurally. The story is very simple but very effective. It's stripped down, character driven, and visually insane. Like the moment in the trailer Mjolnir was destroyed, I was hooked. That movie had me instantly from that moment. That scene alone just showed us this Thor movie is just going to be completely different. It's fun, it's confident, and it finally gave us a Thor movie worth celebrating. Now before we hit the top 2, here are some honorable mentions that I couldn't quite find a place for in this list. The one that started it all. You can't build a universe without a foundation, and this one was made of pure charisma and engineering genius. Still one of the best team-up movies I think ever. The pacing, the humor, Loki, everything just worked in this movie. An incredible story and soundtrack, and probably one of Marvel's best villains. The first time in years that Marvel has felt like Marvel again. Light, fun, and perfectly captured that awkward Spider-Man high school energy. Alright, now it's time for the big ones, and this next pick might raise a few eyebrows.
And it feels like home.
Just hear me out for a second. When I rate movies, one of my biggest criteria is what would I want to rewatch right now, and 9 times out of 10 I'm picking this movie over all of the previous movies. This film was hilarious from start to finish. The opening scene alone is iconic.
There are 206 bones in the human body. 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl.
And the cameos are absolute chaos in the best way. Chris Evans showing up was one of the funniest MCU surprises ever.
You see anyone running, dick for brains? You're not gonna love what happens next.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he's gonna say it. Oh my God, he's gonna say it! Say what? Avengers! Flame on!
Sorry, what now?
But what I think makes it work is that this movie doesn't try to be something that it's not. It's a comedy, and it nails being a comedy. Every joke just lands. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is ridiculous. Not every film needs to be traumatic or deep. Sometimes it just needs to succeed at what it's set out to do. Deadpool and Wolverine does exactly that, and that's why it earns my number 2 spot. And finally, my number 1 MCU movie of all time. The one that defined an entire decade of cinema.
Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
I can't even describe the hype leading up to this movie. That trailer, the music, the stakes, Tony flying up to the ship. I've never rewatched a movie trailer that many times. This wasn't just another superhero film. It was an event, 10 years of build-up, and somehow it managed to live up to that hype. Watching this in the cinemas on release night was insane. Every reveal, the Red Skull reveal, Thor's entrance, Thanos' first true appearance, the crowd lost its mind every single time, and the action, well, it was perfectly balanced, as all things should be. For the first time, it felt like our protagonists, the heroes, could lose. There was real tension, real danger, and a real threat. Wanda fighting to save Vision, Thor forging Stormbreaker. Every subplot felt vital and urgent to the whole story. And the ending, silence, dust, and disbelief. It's one of those moments where everyone just sat there stunned. Infinity War is the definition of cinematic payoff. 10 years of build-up delivered in one flawless explosion of storytelling, chaos, and emotion. This movie is the absolute peak of the MCU. I honestly don't think anything will ever come close. The MCU genuinely changed my life and changed cinema forever. I completely disagree with Scorsese when he said,
The theme park film, for example, the Marvel type pictures, where the theaters become amusement parks, that's a different experience. And it's like, it's not even, I was saying earlier, it's not cinema, it's something else.
Because they inspire, they connect, and they've given audiences some of the most emotional scenes ever seen on screen. That's my top 5, and I know you probably disagree with at least one of those movies. So let me know your top 5 MCU movies of all time below. Which one do you think I overrated, and which one deserves a spot on your list? Thank you for watching. I'm Cinephase, and I'll see you in the next review.